And let's just take this one by one, since it's kind of breaking news, and he just talked. This is John Lynch talking about wanting Aiyuk to be a Niner his whole career. Take a listen.
Years ago, there was a lot of talk about another receiver, Debo, and I said the same thing. But with BA, BA, I've communicated on a couple occasions, on many occasions, our wish is that he's here and a part of the Niners for the rest of his career. We're working through that. As such, I was a player once, and I never liked my business being out in the public, and so I'm going to respect that. I'm not going to speak for their side. I can say we're having good talks, and I'm just going to leave it at that, and we'll focus on the draft here today.
All right, so can I be honest?
You need to be all the time.
That's a whole bunch of nothing. Of course, it's been a year since Mike Dunleavy said Jordan Poole was going to retire a Warrior. It's been a week since Mike Dunleavy talked about, well, we definitely want Clay back, and we want Jonathan back, and we want Chris Paul back.
So you think that was just lip service?
Yes. It's all lip service. I'm not saying he's lying. They probably do want Brandon Aiyuk back. I'm sure they do, on their terms. So it's all just kind of window dressing. I'm not saying I don't think Aiyuk's going to be here. The 49ers have a history of getting this stuff done.
Yeah.
I think they'll probably get it done, but this stuff is all superfluous to me.
You know what? If I'm a Niner fan, I liked what he led off with, and he cited the Deebo Samuel thing, and you know how we got jiggy with it in regard to what was being said out there, and was Deebo, tired of his role? Was he being overused? And you know what, Steiny? They got it worked out. So they get the BOD for me, the benefit of the doubt. And I'm going to put it on a rat on the table. We got the shirts, and we're out here at the Outdoor Pest Control Tournament. Steiny, the window stays open for oh so long. And to me, if it's about revenge and finally getting that first ring under Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, you're close. I mean, you were hecka close, whichever one you want to use. Why would you even risk playing around in a year where you're going to decide, if you don't know already, what you're going to pay mystery relevant, your future, I believe, franchise quarterback? Why would you make his job more difficult by taking away one of his weapons? And regardless if Brandon Aiyuk feels like he's not being utilized enough, money talks, Charlie Sheen. So I expect him to be back. And if you're telling me I'm a defensive coordinator and I'm the Rams or I'm the Cardinals and I'm the Seattle Seahawks and we play the Niners 2 times a year, and now all of a sudden I don't got to worry about Brandon Aiyuk on the other side, I can focus on Kittle and Debo and McCaffrey, that makes my job that much more easier. I'm not saying we can stop you, because obviously Kyle's gone to the Super Bowl with different players, but Brandon Aiyuk is a piece, and I don't think I don't know, Steiny, but I don't think he's asking for the world, and you're right.
He's asking to be paid top, probably 10
How good receiver. Do you think Aiyuk is?
Pretty good.
Well, I think we both agree on him compared to Debo.
The problem is they pay Debo. Just like the problem with Klay Thompson is the Warriors pay Draymond Green. So are you going to pay Brandon Aiyuk less than Deebo Samuel, which is $24 million? Can you offer Brandon Aiyuk as a better receiver less than $24 million?
Now, I'm going to say this, Steiny, and I'm not going against myself. I could also sit down with Brandon and say, you know what, Debo, when healthy, he can do a hell of a lot more than
so now
what
you're penalizing me for being healthy.
If you take it that way, then that would be a slight.
If you were Brandon Aiyuk, would you take less money than Deebo Samuel?
I would want more.
Well, of course you would.
Man.
Of course you would. You're a better receiver, and receivers get paid more than running backs. It's okay to say, yes, you're going to need more than Deebo Samuel.
I'm conflicted.
No, it's
because Debo should be looking more like everybody else too. He ain't going to get the Tyreek Hill and the Jamar Chase type of deals, but it's bigger than just Debo. But if you're telling me the Niners just that's the mark they got to get to, I think they get to it.
John Lynch was asked about how he communicates with Brandon Aiyuk.
You guys communicated? Did you use emojis or words?
There you go. The first question. We communicate well, and we love the guy. So thank you.
What? Did I miss something, Steiny? Oh, boy. Tibbs calls it BM, Steiny, bad material. That was bad material.
Well, obviously, Aiyuk's been
reporter. I know.
Aiyuk's been communicating in emojis. All right, let's go to. Hold on one sec.
Through social media, that's what he's referencing.
Yeah.
His tweets and his Instagram.
Right. Let's go to some a little more substantive. Lynch was asked if they received calls about Brandon Aiyuk.
Given permission to his side to.
Sure. We receive calls about a lot of players. Yeah.
I love Lynch, but I guess he's being a bully a little. Like, dude, ask you a question, man. This is specifically for Aiyuk, John.
Yeah. I mean,
Evan, can we hear that one more time?
Sure. We receive calls about a lot of players. Yeah.
Oh.
Why don't you just go jump in the lake, reporter, right? Like, come on, Steiny. You ain't got to do it like that.
I think the second part of that question is Mayoko asking if the 49ers gave Aiyuk permission to look for a trade. Let's listen to what Lynch said.
Given permission to his side to go.
I'm not going to get in all those details. We're really focused on BA being part of us. He's under contract, and we're looking forward to that.
All right.
So does BA, I'm asking you, because I think he has leverage, and the leverage is I could hold out if you guys don't trade me by Thursday, and you think I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, then this becomes a distraction that they dealt with Bosa.
The answer to me is that when Matt Mayoko just asked if the Niners gave Aiyuk permission to look for a trade, John Lynch just said yes. That's what I heard.
Wow.
That's what I heard. Instead of I'm not getting into all that. Like, I think something's going on with Brandon Aiyuk.
But if you go ahead, Zoe.
But I don't necessarily think he's for sure out the door.
But if you say that to the masses, as opposed to you, Steiny, you could feel that way, then it's really over. If you say, yeah, we said it was okay for him to seek a trade.
Samuel?
But I don't think it ever got to we were taking. I'm gonna tell you publicly that I told the guy he can go try to find a trade.
Yeah, I don't know what
I mean, to me, that would be like, oh, boy, it's really water on the boat then.
I believe that in this day and age of the NFL, this is the price of admission. This is the price of admission. And then maybe you tell Brandon Aiyuk to go look for a trade, and then what? It doesn't mean the 49ers are going to do the trade. I mean, I see Brandon Aiyuk, unfortunately, as a player without any leverage. I mean,
even with the holdout.
That's both sides. Is he? So he's gonna give up $14 million, which is what he's making this year. Sometimes you gotta, it's like I remember we had Bucky Brooks on. He said, like, you can always just tell him to come in under that fifth-year salary. What if he doesn't come in?
Okay, then he doesn't. Gangster.
But that's what might be a possibility. Last one from John Lynch on the timeline of past deals that they've negotiated.
I think that's important. I think there is, human nature is that deadlines force these things, but, I think you can always learn from situations, and you'd be a fool not to. I'd like to have our business tidied up at a little, those things, they ran the course they needed to, and I'm proud of our record of getting the guys we want to get done, but I'm right there with everyone else. I'd sure like it to happen sooner.
All right, so that was John Lynch talking about when they re-signed Bosa, which was into the preseason, when they signed Deebo Samuel, which was later on into the summer, and whether or not they're going to do something with Brandon Aiyuk sooner or later, we'll find out. But
what position do you think the Niners need?
that was attention. I don't want to say that was useless, but that was useless.
Well, salesmen, I'm calling them a salesman, they don't give you much. That poker face, Well,
it wasn't really a poker face either. I saw a guy just trying to avoid the subject. Clearly, there's something going on with Aiyuk. They're seeing a thing. Yeah, right. Well, and they don't.
And look at his brother and his girlfriend's tweets, throughout the offseason, Steiny. So something's going on. But where is he going to get to?